If ever I had a video.
Everybody, it's Yeti Speaks, and I'm back here with a new review for you for the movie Sanju. Now, I'm aware that Sanju came out some months ago, I think sometime earlier in the year. And I was also aware when the movie was being made that we're making this movie about Sanjay Dutt. Sanjay Dutt happens to be one of my favorite Bollywood actors because he's a guy that can act comedic roles as well as gangster roles. And there's something about him that's so childlike that I always like to see the movies that he acts. So when I became aware that they were doing a movie about his life, his very, very colorful life, I was really, really interested in actually watching this when it came to pass. And but for some reason, like I always tell you guys, when it comes to certain movies, they don't have wide release in America. And if you don't watch it at a certain time when it comes out at a particular movie theater, you miss your chance to watch it and have to wait for video or a streaming service. So when the movie actually came out, I wasn't quickly aware about it. And by the time I knew about it, it was actually out of the movie theater. So I was kind of bummed about that. And so I wanted to wait until it came onto a streaming service. I was actually praying for it to come to a streaming service like a Netflix or like a Prime for me to actually watch it and then, have a review with you guys about it. I'm happy to say that last week, the movie came to Netflix. I was just going through Netflix trying to see something to watch because I was kind of bored. And then I saw it around 12 a.m. on a weekday. I was so excited that I had to watch it immediately. And so I decided to watch it. And I watched it, and I watched it, and I watched it. That movie was so, so, so fantastic. Actually, by the time I finished watching the movie, it was about 2:30 in the morning to around 3 a.m. And the movie had such an impact on me that I wanted to go ahead immediately and have a review with you guys. But I was kind of emotional about it, and I didn't understand why I was. It had such a profound effect on me because the story was so well told, the acting was superb, the not the theme, the synopsis of the movie itself was just out of this world. And I'm a sucker for bio movies because I think bio movies make the best movies, and some of these actors and celebrities have very, very colorful lives, and so when their life story comes onto the movie screen, it makes for a pleasurable watch. I don't know if I should say that it was very, very pleasurable to watch Sanjay Dutt's life story, but it was important to watch it because me watching that movie gave me a different perspective of Sanjay Dutt. Um, I can say that I'm still emotional about the movie, to tell you the truth, really, because when I watch a movie like that, the character, and I know sometimes that when you watch bio movies, that there's always a creative license situation in it whereby the producers, the directors of the movie, or the screenplay of the movie has to be embellished enough for the audiences to actually enjoy the movie. So watching a movie like Sanju, even if only half of the movie was accurate with Sanjay Dutt's life, it was still a hell of a movie to me. Um, I thought it was just riveting. I felt bad for Sanjay Dutt. I felt sorry for Sanjay Dutt. I felt empathy for Sunil Dutt. I felt big empathy for Nagri's, his mother, Nagis, his mother, because his mother was a big time Bollywood actress. I believe in the 60s, 50s and 60s, I think. I just felt overwhelming sadness for Sanjay Dutt for the life that he has lived. And sometimes when we watch our celebrities, their antics, their personalities, their way of life, we always, try to, sometimes we judge them, we are judgmental about them because we feel like because they have money, they really shouldn't have any problems at all, because many people think that money solves everything. And maybe, you know, in many instances it does, but sometimes money is not everything. And this movie is one of those that gave me that impression after watching it. I felt so bad for Sanjay Dutt and for the life he has lived. I feel so bad for him for what he has gone through in his life. I still feel bad for him for what he's still going through in his life, and I feel proud for him for what he has accomplished in his life. So the story of Sanjay Dutt's life, Sanju, was a fantastic watch for me. And because a lot of movies do not affect me, it doesn't have a big effect on me. I enjoy a good movie, and I always feel like when I watch a good movie and it leaves something in me, and I'm thinking about the movie even after I watch it, I consider that to be a very very good movie, and this movie did that. So that part I want to cover before I continue. Now let's talk about the acting in the movie itself. I thought the acting in the movie was top notch. I thought it was fantastic. I thought Ranbir Kapoor absolutely and utterly captured Sanjay Dutt from a kid. If you watch many of Sanjay Dutt's older movies when he was younger, so Ranbir Kapoor caught everything about him totally. It was fantastic. It was real. It was a first grade class in acting. I think it was actually method acting when you think about it. I think Ranbir Kapoor such a huge talent. I think if he was actually in Hollywood, I think he would have won a lot of Oscars. I think Ranbir Kapoor has the capability actually of being better than Amir Khan in the future because he's still younger, and even though he's done such incredible body of work right now, like Rockstar, um, Jagas Joe's, Sanju. There's even another movie I can't remember the name of the movie right now where he had to be Priyanka Chopra. I think he was either he had intellectual disability or something. I can't remember that movie, but he's just been doing really really good work ever since his debut of Saiwaria, I think is the name of the movie with him and Sanam Kapoor back in the day. Um, so Ranbir Kapoor has really really impressed me and a whole lot of people. He has the capability to me of being better and even bigger than Amir Kapoor in the future because he's still young, he's still honing his craft, he still has a lot to learn, and he still has a lot to bring, you know. And he has the capability also of surpassing his dad and his mom's legacy in Bollywood. I just thought his acting in this movie was just fantastic. Sometimes when you watch a bio movie and the person that's acting, the real life person, does such a good job, people think it's imitation. So if it's imitation, then it's not really acting. Maybe like Ray Charles movie with Jamie Foxx, where many people, even though I thought he gave a fantastic performance, many people thought he was actually just imitating Ray Charles. I don't think Ranbir Kapoor was imitating Sanjay Dutt. I thought he was acting his butt off, trying to get into the character of Sanjay Dutt. So I thought it was just fantastic. So I think when I think about the MVPs of the Sanju movie, I think Ranbir Kapoor is number one. He was fantastic. I especially love the time, especially the conflict in his eyes in the beginning of the movie when he was debuting in that movie Rocky, and he wanted his father's affection and what is that word I'm looking for? When somebody wants your approval. Yes, he wanted his father approval so bad in that part. I could just feel for Sanjay Dutt's role in that movie. Also, when he found out that his mother had the cancer, the terminal cancer, the way he acted, the way he was, and you can see like a lot of people. Many times that when we watch people's when we hear about people that go on drugs and everything, sometimes we blame them because we can't think to ourselves why you would go on that part to start with. This movie made me understand how somebody can get addicted to hard drugs immediately, because after he found out that his mother had that terminal cancer, he went on an emotional tailspin where he mixed with the wrong crowd, was a drug addict for a very, very long time, went to rehab, broke out of rehab, met this guy. I don't know if it's true story of how he met his friend in the movie, but even if it's not, even if he just met his friend a different way, meeting that guy, hitchhiking on buses to get to his friend's apartment in New York because he was trying to escape rehab, getting there, meeting his father. asking for a drink and then going back to the rehab. Him overcoming that and then coming back to India and having the same guy try to get him hooked up on drugs again, only to find out that the guy was actually just hooking him up because he wanted to sell his drugs. And that part was fantastic. Another part was when the police caught him. I think his father told the police where he was going to be, where he was going to land in the plane, and when they were hitting him in the police custody to make him confess to being a terrorist. The whole part was just overwhelmingly sad. Or even the part where he wanted to give a speech for his dad at the consulate, I think. And even though he has already regained his good name at that point, they still consider him to be a terrorist, even though he wasn't a terrorist. And they told him he had to go sit at the back. I just felt so, so sad for him. And even after many years of fighting the case in court, and he was found guilty of the arms section code, not the terrorist section code. People didn't understand it. People still consider him to be a terrorist. And I can't imagine going through something like that, being a huge star in Bollywood, being a legacy for somebody like Sunil Dutt or Nagis, and then also being considered a terrorist, despite the fact you're not. And imagine that when you walk on the street, your parents are being ridiculed because you're supposedly a terrorist, or even after you spend time in jail for the arms section code, and you're still considered a terrorist. I just felt so, so, so sad for him. And I'm wondering if he's still going through that, because it was just really, really sad, I mean, when you think about it, the paparazzi itself, you think about paparazzi in America or in London and how terrible they are. They were very, very vicious in India because they could print anything as long as they put a question mark on it. That was it. It was just ridiculous, Another person I thought did a very, very good job in the movie was Parish Garwal as Sunil Dutt. I've liked Parish for a very long time. I thought he's been supporting actors in a lot of movies that I've watched, and he's always held his own. But I think his role as Sanjay Dutt's father, was a class in its own. I wonder if he's going to get nominated for supporting actor when the Filmfare Award comes or the Ilfare Award comes. He was just very, very good. And if Sanju Dutt was as good as that in real life as he was in the movie, oh my God, Sanjay Dutt was so lucky to have him as a dad. I wish I'm half as good as that to my child as he was to his son, because he never got tired of helping him. He went through ridicule upon ridicule to help his son, and when he finally got there, he wasn't even around for long to enjoy the fruits of his son's labor before he passed away. It was such an inspiring portrayal of Sunil Dutt. When in the 80s, I didn't really know who Sunil Dutt was because I started watching Bollywood movies in the 80s. I was watching back then in the 80s, the people who were popular in Nigeria for Bollywood movies. There were people like Amitabh Bachchan, Dharmendra, what is his name? Rishi Kapoor for love story movies, Sanjeev Kumar, Vinod, Jatendra. These are the people that were popular in the 80s, and I didn't know Sunil Dutt. So to watch this movie and to figure out who he was and to see his body of work also was a treat for me to watch. And also, of course, I've always known who Nargis was, even though she was not in my time, because I knew she was in Mother India, and Mother India is such a classic Indian movie, just like Sholay. So I knew who Nargis was, and I knew that she was actually Sanjay Dutt's mother. Another person that I thought did a fantastic job in the movie was the guy who acted as Sanjay Dutt's friend. And he was so good also, although, that probably has a lot of creative license because we don't really know who that person is, so we don't really know how true to form the portrayal of the character was. But because we know who Sanjay Dutt was, because many of the things said in the movie was actually public knowledge, and many of the things said in the movie was actually public knowledge for Sunil Dutt also, we know we can compare the movie, we can compare the portrayal of Sanjay Dutt to the actual person, or the portrayal of Sunil Dutt to the actual person. But I thought the guy did a fantastic job also. And I was even glad to read about the guy in real life, that even though in the movie he says that he abandoned him for a while because he thought that he was a terrorist, in real life that he actually never abandoned him, he was always by his side. So I was happy to hear that. You know, it's always good to have friends like that when you're a famous person, real friends that stand by you regardless of who you are or what is being said about you in the news or in the media. So overall, I thought the movie was fantastic. I've said that before. I thought it was a good movie. I think Ranbir Kapoor should be nominated for a lot of awards, and I think he's gonna win. Although I've watched a lot of movies, it probably will be a tug of war between him and Amir Khan for Dogs of Hindustan. Although Amir Khan doesn't like to go to film for awards, so maybe he's not gonna get nominated because he doesn't believe in this kind of award shows. But Ranbir Kapoor was good. He was really good, and I'm so proud of him that was able to portray Sanjay Dutt the way he did. So for Yeti Speaks React rating, two thumbs up. I loved that movie. I actually think that movie should have been put forward as India's entry into the Oscars as opposed to Village Rockstars. But you know when it comes to this foreign movie categories for Oscar, there's a whole lot of politics. It's normally more like a documentary as opposed to a really entertaining movie. Yeah, it is what it is. But that's just my opinion, though. I love the movie. I wonder what you guys think. If you haven't watched it, you should go watch it. It's on Netflix right now. It's called Sanju, and it's a story about Sanjay Dutt, and it stars Ranbir Kapoor. So if you guys haven't watched it, watch it, and you see what I'm talking about. Especially if you know who Sanjay Dutt is, if you know what his life story is about, if you've heard the headlines about his life, you will know what this movie is about. So watch it and see if you guys like it also. I loved it. I would like to know your comments and reactions and opinions and reviews to what I've said about it and to also watching the movie. Let me know what you guys think. I'd like to hear your comments below the bar. Yeti Speaks, that's my review. Till next time, guys. Bye.